You know the one, the version that is not published, not the lessons learned, retrospective, not the I suggested and then I figured it out arc, the raw one, the one that from inside the middle of it, where you did not know how it was going to turn out, where the doubt was real and the outcome was genuinely uncertain. The story, the one you have been keeping private, that is the one that would change everything for your business. And today I want to show you exactly why and what it takes to finally tell it. Most founders I work with have two versions of their story. Version 1 is the public version, cleaned up, chronologically tidy. The struggle is acknowledged, but safety is the past. The lesson is clear. The arc resolves well. It is honest, but managed honest. Enough to seem authentic, managed enough to protect the image. Version 2 is the private version, the one that is still messy, the one where the outcome is not fully resolved yet, the one that requires admitting something that the performer loop imposes on you, the imposter loop which comes in return of that. The approval loop says it's too dangerous to share publicly. And here is what most founders do not realize: their audience can feel the difference between the two versions even when they cannot articulate it. How much ever PR trained you might be able to connect to few, but the actual audience you are looking for, who you want to connect with, who you are not in for the number game, for the money game, who you are here to actually make that difference and that change, those people will only connect to you when you're 100% genuine about the stuff. The version 1 produces polite engagement, like saves, occasional this resonate, comment, people appreciate it. They do not feel it, they just do. It's like 80-20 principle. Your 20% of your client whom you actually want to connect is lying in the true story of the version which you're keeping away from people. That is the version 2, the raw, honest, still messy version. Produces the comment that stops you mid scroll, may even get lashes on from different people on different things. But that is the true version, that is the genuine version. The DM that comes in at midnight, the thought I was the only one in the response. The clarity call booking from person who feels seen for the first time in their life. Because version is too, the second version bypasses all of the performance and lands directly in the truth, in that energy, in that universal connection you have with that person. And truth is the only currency that produces real connection. You can enter with X amount of unlimited energy and try to forcefully connect to a person, but over the course, you yourself will get detached with either the work or the customer. So, why do most founders keep version 2 private? Because one of the loop is running specific, which is protecting protocol. The performer loop says if they see the real version, the image breaks, and the image is the only thing that's keeping the business together. So you edit, you manage, you share the authentic looking version that is still safe enough to not threaten the identity. You're working on a validation sector. If someone connects to you, also, let's say, on a customer call, you're just validating to what they are saying and you're not providing any good outcome to anyone. You're just operating from a money making business, then you're part of the same pyramid scheme. Then only if genuinely you have the bandwidth to help them to create a change in their life, that that is when the money factor comes in, or else you should to be just okay with how is it. Force selling with ill intentions, hiding with a cover mask is just going to trouble you inside more and won't help you connect further or grow in business later on. The imposter loop, which is the second form of loop, says if you tell the raw story, they will see that you are still fighting it. And if they see that, they will not trust you as the guide, so you wait until the story is fully resolved before you share it. And it's never fully received, and it won't get resolved fully resolved as well. There'll always be some new challenges in your life, so you what you're expecting as a full resolve will never come into existence, so you never fully share it. Some things are kept private, I understand that, but forming a whole mask in front is just you deceiving you at that point. Approval loop says that what if they judge the raw version? What if the vulnerability is seen as weakness? What if sharing the mess makes them respect you less? So be it. Simple as that. So you wait for enough distance for the experience, feel safe, and by the time it feels safe, the story has lost its aliveness. All three groups are protecting you from the same thing, being fully seen. And being fully seen is exactly what builds the kind of trust that converts. Not just clients, not just to clients, but to genuine community, to people who stay, to people who reflect, to people who come back not because of your credentials, but because you are the one person in their feed who speaks the truth about what this actually feels like from the inside. And let's say you're not able to curate that high amount of clientele, so be it you were never aiming for that clientele any which ways. If you're false sharing and they come inside your, let's say, your community or your product line which you're putting out, you will never connect to them any which ways, and they will not in turn connect to you. So in my insight notes, I have something I come back to often. You can call it Trinity. Okay? Stories, testimonial, and sharing my truth. These are the three things that build what a strategy can manufacture. But here's the mechanism of it. When you tell your honest story, the version that is still in the process, the version that requires something real from you, and three things happen simultaneously. First, the person hearing it feels less alone, feels more connected. No forge making the story, the real genuine story. If you can't connect, then try to connect the customer story. You might get a lot of insight from their story. The specific loneliness of being a founder, of carrying things nobody around you understands, or looking fine on the paper while feeling disconnected inside. It lifts slightly when someone names it honestly, and the person who gave them the relief becomes someone they actually trust and they actually want to continue with, who they actually think will bring about the change in their life, will actually give them the insights they were always looking for. Second, your own clarity increases with this. The act of articulating your whole experience in honest language creates a distance from the pattern you cannot create through private reflection alone. You hear yourself say it, and hearing it changes your relationship to it altogether. It's as simple as you telling your affirmation loudly to yourself every day, you telling your goals to yourself loud every day. Third, the right people self selects. The raw, honest story repels people who are never going to commit anyway, and you are attracting the exact same people who needs what you do most. This is a filter. Isn't that a gem that you already have, the most efficient one you have access to? Imagine if you are genuine, you'll connect to your whole genuine person who is exact match in energy with you and your alignment, your identity, what you're saying, and growing that community to gathering 100 random people from likes and taking them ahead is a two different game altogether. Your story is not about marketing tool, it is the truth telling practice. And the business benefits is a natural consequence of the truthful landing, you can say. I'm going to be talking to many founders whose mails I'm getting repeatedly, or especially from podcasts, and they liked how certain lines have connected to them as they are founders as well. Like one of the person who connected most was, people are doing fine on the paper, but they are internally exhausted or empty or feeling empty inside. And this guy has created new style of dating apps where he doesn't believe in the swipe things anymore. He believes that a relationship connection should happen naturally. First, there should be a connection of that. So people are not cataloged just to swipe left and right for. In this day and age, the hyper activity has taken over the time control so much that we just want everything quick, 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 and in that we have genuinely lost connection, not only to others but I would say to ourselves as well. And it's high time we have to connect internally. When you're planning to build something as a founder, it's very important you connect to yourself first, because without that, what insights will you be putting out? And second to that, I'm here ultimately to lift the consciousness level of everyone so that they perform on a different level altogether. And to that, a connection to themselves is much more important rather than just an outer connection with creating a mask and connecting to everyone. So, I want to ask you something. What is the version 2 of your story? The one you have not told yet, the one that is still messy, the one that would require more honesty than that feels that comfortable edge. You do not have to post it publicly today. If you love to, I would really appreciate if you would comment that down. But write it, write it down at your pace, in your diary. The act of writing it is the first step towards being willing to tell it. And even if one person who sees this video writes it down, that would, I would be the most happiest person to create that actual change. And if you want to explore the loop that is keeping version 2 private, that is exactly what a loop decode session is for. 30 minutes, no pitch. We find the pattern protecting your most powerful story from being told. And my new funnel has been launched, so I'll be updating the link and you can go through the video file there. That will give you a brief idea of how this all works. Isn't that great? And the next and final announcement which I want to say, by June end to July mid, I'm speculating revelation that might affect the whole of the world, from the angle of market, from the angle of relationship, from the angle of consciousness as well. And it's not because I'm saying it, I can intuitively feel that. And apart from that, people who are in this line of intuition into helping others, they are feeling that too. So I want to create as much change as possible, as quickly as possible. Subscribe for more. See you in the next video.